Okay, one or two more, then we're done.
Cancelling. So you've beaten the game, explored all the world, swam around looking very important, and find Red the Dragon, who I still can't work out where his name came from. And like the other bosses in the game, he isn't that hard. In fact, you fight him twice in the game. The first time where you can just melt all of his attacks before they touch you, and the second time where he becomes a Gundam. Don't let that intimidate you though, because when you get his own minions to shoot him back, he just stands there and allows himself to die. And in the ending cutscene, he gets put in a bottle and the game stops. Wow, that's an ending. That is. Unless you collect everything and beat the game 100%. Which I did. Maybe there'll be another secret hidden level or something. Whatever the bonus is, please be good.
Perhaps we should just turn off the TV for a while.
Good idea. Make mine baloney.
I said please! And then we get a credit sequence, which is a totally black screen because I'm playing this on the Xbox 360, which glitches it all out and means you can't even see it. But it's okay. I mean, who needs to see anyway? Sometimes you just gotta go with where the wind takes you and see what surprises. What did you do that for, Andrew Van? What's that, boy? You have another game for me? And it's a sequel to A Hero's Tale that came out exclusively on the Nintendo DS and is the final game in the original series continuity to come out? Well, burst my balloon. Come over here and give me a kiss. Right, so take...
Okay, I can't decide if that SpongeBob air horn was the perfect summarization of what just happened.
Page from the Book of Kingdom Hearts, Spyro decided to make a story-relevant, canonical, official sequel to his console-based platforming series on the Nintendo DS, and nowhere else. But I don't mind. I can handle it. I'm a stud. It is known as Simon Shrinking Legs, and this is the final game to feature Spyro as we've known him up until this point. The end of the classic Spyro continuity. So even though the last portable exclusive was the Cortex conspiracy, where I'm certain that the only conspiracy there was to piss off me, maybe they'll actually go all out with this and end on a high note. Okay, not a bad title screen here. When you look at it like this, at least, but in real life, it looks more like Spyro has a really long, weird neck. Vacation can't last forever, you know, even for you. Bitch, I haven't even had one. I've been trying to go on holiday for 7 games now. Oh no. Is this how fast we're going to move? For the whole game? What is this? What is this jump? It's not a jump, it's like you're being vacuumed up to the roof. I can't figure out where the hell I'm landing and I can't get any distance with this. Oh, and what's this? I can't glide? What is this game? Oh, hello there, old. You want me to follow you? No problem. Low, skip to below, low. Aha, watch out, we've got combat now. Did you know this game was made by Amaze Entertainment? Well, now I can see why. It's terrible. But I'm gonna calm down and fall asleep for a second. Maybe I'll have a clearer head in the morning. Okay, what is this massive screw-off? What is that thing? What is that? What is it? Ah, get away from me, you eyeball-leggy Johnny! When did this game decide...
Okay, I wonder if this manages to scare the piss out of kids.
To become Siren Blood Curse. Why didn't you warn me? Oh, wait a second, you did. Shadow Legacy is an action RPG, which is not a thing I was expecting to say today. You explore the world, fight enemies to gain XP, use magic spells, level up, and use the touchscreen to cast spells, which feels completely tacked on and unnecessary, just like a real DS game. And very similar to how this game moves the main storyline onto the DS for no discernible reason, the gameplay is kind of like Kingdom Hearts as well. If Sora went around headbutting everything in place and had a bath in glue, without a shadow of a Legacy. This is the slowest and most boring action RPG I've ever played, and I mean that as literally as I can muster. Enter the Dragonfly was slow, but it was at least trying to be faster. Just imagine for a second what this game would look like if it lagged. Playing this game feels like you're stuck with a sleep paralysis demon. You'll be sludging along with it, minding your own business, and then every so often you'll wake up and realize how slow you're actually going, and then go... Look, I'm just gonna be real for a second. I couldn't stand playing this. I gave it a few hours of my time, but it's just so boring and so uneventful.
that even if I finished it, I don't think I'd have anything else to add to what I'm saying. So I gave up on it. Here's a condensed version of my playthrough.
Wow, I'm charging, and it's still taking a while. Wait, why aren't the rocks breaking immediately when I charge into them? Do you want me to stop moving? You think I'm going too fast?
Why aren't my attacks connecting?
Yes, this looks completely fine to me. Hang on, what's stopping me from going around this? What's stopping me? You want me to go all the way around to the other side?
Ugh, speed up! Get a move on, you flu jab!
Wait a second, you need magic points in order to There's still 3 people to save. What do you mean, people? They're dragons! I'm saving dragons! Am I playing Spyro the person? Here is a cameo from Bren Daniel.
What?
This concludes the cameo from Bren Daniel. You know what? I honestly don't care if the mechanics get better or the story gets better. I am not spending my precious minutes on this earth playing something as slow and as abysmal as this.
Don't play this game. You could say I'm being unfair, but
No.
nope. I don't even know if I want to play the next few games. I just want to get in the car and leave. Why can't I get... Come on, get out! Get off! Get what?
Pink poo bag on your keys. Pink poo bag on your keys. It's not a bag for pink poo. It's the color of the bag. Use it to pick up your dog poo, or use it to pick up other people's dogs. Pink poo bag on your keys. Pink poo bag on your keys. You look so cool, you might freeze. Pink poo bag on your keys. Oh no, I've lost my keys. Oh, they're where the poo bag is. Walking the dog, forget a bag, put it on your keys. You slag. I'm best friends with my bag. In England, we call this a word you shouldn't say. Pink poo bag on your keys. Pink poo bag.
Catacomb smokes. Oh. Please quit smoking. You're actually going to feel a lot better after a couple of weeks of quitting. Trust me, my mom speaks from experience.
Bag on your part 4. I've got nothing much else to add here. What do you want from me? Leave me alone! In 2006, everyone was sick of the poor batting average of cheeky platforming kiddie Spyro, so then they hit the reset button and started a brand new trilogy known as The Legend of Spyro, starting off with the appropriately titled...
This is the version that Death Battle went with to be Crash Bandicoot.
A New Beginning, or as it's more commonly known, The Legend of Simon, A Nice Bailiff. This was made by Chrome Studios this time, and I have never played this game before, so do you want to know what I think? It's different, so it stinks.
See you later, I'm gonna enter the dragonfly.
So now we're not a baby game anymore, we're going darker and way more serious. I mean, it worked so well with a 3-foot hedgehog, why can't it work with a bright purple 3-foot dragon? We're dealing with the origins of Spyro, from his egg hatching to learning the truth about his past, and there's an innocent dragon cursed by a dark master, but we don't realize that until we need to kill her. And
Elijah
all sorts
Wood?
going on. We aren't in a cartoon anymore, sunshine, we're now in Lord of the Rings. And so who better to get involved in this game than with the Lord of the Ring himself, Elijah Wood. Providing the voice of Simon for the very first time, alongside the voice of Gary Oldman. And I will say this right now, Elijah gives us the best delivery of the no cliche I think I've ever seen. No! Oh, and who wants to see the newest Sparks?
Catch up or give up, Chunky.
No! Right, so we've gone from a collectathon platformer to side-scrolling minigamer to action RPG. So logically, we've made the next step to an action-adventure beat-em-up. But now Sparks looks like a DreamWorks ant and Spyro looks like a drunk. And I will say right now, I don't hate this game, but I don't like it that much either.
Yeah? Well, I don't like you either.
Oh, Buns, you're such a kid steer.
I'm not joking, man. I'm calling the FBI. Leave me alone. I'm busy.
No need. I am the FBI.
I promise all of you I'm going into this with as open of a mind as I can, but I don't know, guys. The basics are here and they're playable, but there's so many catches and snags I can't get around. Stuff like the upgrade points not having any on-screen indication how much you have, so you have to keep pausing and looking in the upgrade menu to check yourself. I find that the moves are way too slow to come out for how fast the enemies move around you. If you're stuck and surrounded in a group, there's no way to quickly dodge out of it. And yet, you can dodge with this weirdly sluggish strafing move, but you aren't going to dash away to safety anytime soon by doing this. Not to mention there's no lock-on, so you can't even choose what target to swap around while you do the strafing. And no matter what you do, you will eventually be overwhelmed by enemies called Fisty Grin Thief. Not that it's a big deal though, because if you die, nothing happens? You just carry on from a few seconds ago? Okay then. Honestly, I just prefer spamming firebombs. It's easily the most effective and powerful attack to deal with all the groups, and it can also make the game look like spreaded mustard. You can double jump and you can glide, which I do appreciate, but there's barely any real point to it. You're still majorly railroaded from samey combat encounter to samey combat encounter without really being able to explore anything. Secrets aren't really a thing anymore either. The focus here is definitely the combat, but the issue is, this ain't no Devil May Cry or Bayonetta. It's stupidly basic. Even the different elemental breath attacks don't change the fact that you're still pressing variations of the same 3 buttons without much else going on. And I know a ton of people wanted me to go in depth here and were really hyped to see what I thought about a nearly 20-year-old reboot about a lizard, but here's the thing. I can fill the video with empty fluff and just talk your ears off, lying about how much I can talk about if you want me to, or I can be honest, and honestly, this isn't doing it for me. It's just too bland. I've got nothing to say about it. It's not as awful as everyone around me at the time made me think, but it is a little bit meh.
Now, I don't mind the new direction here at all, but my issue with it is that A, it's not done that well to begin with, and I could be playing any other hack and slash or beat 'em up that's already better out the gate, and B, it's still Spyro. This isn't what I wanted to play a Spyro game for. It would be like if you made Crash Bandicoot the star of 7 Sins.
And look here, you can throw all of these pretty
I'll get
story
it.
but cutscenes at me, but at the end of the day, it's still a kid's game about a purple dragon. It's not that deep. Kinda like the combat. Plus, in nearly every scene, Spyro is always like, oh my gosh, what's that? Sparks is always like, hey, what's the deal with airline food? And everyone else around him is always like,
Spyro, you must seek the strength of your courage with the passion of wisdom, so the darkness can be defeated by the honesty of your loyalty to the...
shut up, you old honk stick.
Feeling like £1,000,000, and I'm out here with my pals. I've got 1,000,000 subs, so I've got £1,000,000. Feeling like feel like a milli. I want a milli, I have 1,000,000 shoes, and me and oh great. I didn't love a game that had dark epic fantasy overtones in it, and now I've woken up the legendary warrior, Vinegar. It'll take him at least a week to get to me, so I better look at the sequel to this as quick as I can.
1 year later, in 2007, Chrome were brought back on to continue the story in The Legend of Simon, the Empty Niece. And it follows on directly from the last game. The not bad guy possessed by the real bad guy, Cinder, gets saved from Simon. So he takes her home, she leaves one day, and Spyro dies. Oh wait, no he didn't. Now you've got to go and save the world from the moon! No time to lose! Hit the road, Jack! Spyro the Eternal Night is nearly exactly the same as before, so automatically I know I'm not going to love it, but there are a few neat little additions here. There's added slow-mo to take down animations, there's more areas to explore for upgrade material, which is very welcome, there's way more jumping and gliding sections to break up the combat, the elemental breaths actually provide you with different kinds of attacks rather than just different colored variations of the same basic attack, and this final blast move looked cool before, but now it can rip through the fabric of reality and turn Spyro inside out. On paper, I should really get along with this game, even though I still don't like how Sparks looks like the mask and Spyro somehow looks even more oblivious than before.
Spyro, your place is here. Your destiny is here.
But is it just me, or is this game way harder? Like, annoyingly harder? I don't know, what do you think, Elijah Wood?
It's dangerous for her to be outside the temple at night.
Oh, yeah, alright. I see where you're coming from. I understand your opinion.
I don't know if I'm just exhausted after playing through 12 games up to this point, but I found Eternal Night to be so much harder than A New Beginning, and not in a good way. It was harder than arranging a funeral on WhatsApp. The starting enemies from the beginning of the game do not let up. Everything attacks you relentlessly, and your health drains like a drain. Especially when you get stun locked into a group encounter and they just tag team spam attacks until you're out for the count. This happens way too frequently. You still attack slower than the enemies do, but now the lack of being able to cancel out of a combo or dodge roll to get the hell out of there makes that so much more apparent. And hey, look, they brought back one of my favorite parts of the first GBA game, Season of Ice. Off-screen dogpiling. Yeah, remember that? Isn't it fun? I think the devs knew how much harder this game was than the first, and that's why they put way more health and breath power crystals around the place to help alleviate alleviate the beatings, but the issue is the lack of mobility. If you get into a bad spot during a fight, you will not be able to move over to these crystals fast enough before it's game over again. I found myself doing so many pot shots and running away just to survive. And yeah, the ice breath here is much more useful than the first game and does make crowd control a bit more manageable, but it's too little too late, man. I just can't be bothered to see what else the game has to offer me after such an awful first impression. And that's exactly how I felt when I first saw Elvis the Alien, wasn't it?
Tell me again, what's your favorite Spyro game? What?
You disgust me. And listen here, alright, I love a long cutscene. I'm a rock-solid hard man. Give me uninterrupted dialogue and dramatic pauses all over the place. I can handle it. But we're dealing with a story that isn't deep or interesting enough to justify how many cutscenes are piled on here. Sometimes back to back. It's like if someone sat you down and showed you a lore video about Barney. Ooh, what's that? We can slow down the game at will? Gee, that's neato. I always wanted to turn a Spyro game into Enter the Dragonfly on command. And before you ask, no, slowing the game down doesn't help with large brutal group encounters that much. And even if it did, the game doesn't slow down around you, you slow down as well. So you're either choosing unfun, unforgiving alleyway mugging or Shadow Legacy on purpose, because I just couldn't wait to go that slow again.
I have never wanted to stop playing a game as quick as this before in my life, and it's really annoying because I was really enjoying all the good changes, but the rest of it, nah, I don't feel like cheese grating off my fingers for fun. I already do that.
Let's go. See ya.
See, Sparks has already had enough. He's gone. And with no Sparks, that means no more games. So finally, I can do the show that I've always wanted to do. Roll it.
It's the dead bird of the week. It's the dead bird of the week.
There's one more, you inbred. Oh, Vinegar.
One more?
Okay guys, we're nearly there, I promise. Dawn of the Dragon on the Xbox 360, also known as Simon Door of the Door. And I guess Chrome Studios weren't trusted anymore after the reception of the last two games, so for the final game of the trilogy, and indeed the final game in the whole Spyro timeline, Sierra Entertainment hired a new company to make this one called Air. Time to pop this mummer in and bake it at gas mark 10. Oh god, oh me oh my, I've got to make another video about these.
Oh, they're the mobile device games? That's definitely not like iPhones.
Things, haven't I? Okay, here we are, Xbox 360 dashboard. Haven't looked around it for a while, but yeah, it's... The story of this game is that Spyro and Cinder are trapped in a piss rock and it's time to let them out, but not really because we're also going to trap you again. Why did you let them out? Okay, so right out of the gate, the game looks and runs amazingly, actually. Is that a dodge roll? Oh shit, son, it's a dodge roll. And what's this? Way more crowd control attacks and area attacks to clear out enemies. You can grab enemies now for extra combo potential. Holy shit, is Spyro eating that guy? Spyro can fly. Fly? What? Yes, Spyro can fly. Gusts of wind to stop you from flying everywhere you want? Yes! Yes! Quick time events?
Hey. Well, you know how...
Oh my god, is that Hunter? Hunter! Hunt Bents?
Hey. Well, you know how...
Oh! Oh my god, is that Hunter? Hunter! Hunter is back! Oh no! He doesn't look, sound, or feel even vaguely like the same Hunter from the last games, but I don't care. That somehow makes the game good. Why didn't you tell me about this, Salty DK Dan?
What?
Yeah, I thought so, bastard! What's this? A vat of extra platforming challenges based around gliding and climbing to reward you with hidden upgrade materials all over the place? Character switching for entirely new elemental breath attacks that can be used for combat and way more puzzles to solve? And it was then that Caddy realized that this whole time he had a diabetic coma. Wow! This game is... What are you doing, Dawn of the Dragon? I like you? No, in fact, I really like you. I can't believe I'm saying this, and I'm sad it's taken until the third game of the reboot trilogy for me to say, but this is legitimately an extremely good game. It's got the balance between explorative collecting that Spyro is best known for, and the combat that the Legend series is best known for, and merges them seamlessly while improving the combat of the Legend series. It really helps how there's like a million new moves to play with instead of the same handful of combos we had before. There's ground combat, aerial combat, grabbing combat, and the breath combat is tons better. You've got fire, ice, electricity, and earth all unlocked from the start and do even more different things than they've ever done before. Some are great for group damage, some are great for dispersing crowds, some are great for stuns, and some are great for continuous gradual damage. And with Cinder now being playable, you can switch to her whenever you want and pick her elemental breaths: poison, fear, shadow, and wind. Too many beans. In combat, you still don't have a lock-on feature, but it doesn't matter because not only do you have a dodge roll to better position yourself to avoid damage quickly, finally, but most of the time the camera ends up being locked onto a scenario and pulled back like a PS2 God of War game, allowing you to see the whole battlefield, making off-screen threats no issue at all, and when the camera control is given back to you, my humps. Look at this. There are multiple large, sprawling open worlds with tons of secrets and optional routes to explore, with gorgeous music in the background. Yeah, sure, whatever, the game slows down in bigger areas, but it's a small price to pay for what is the most liberating and unironically magical Spyro game so far. This is so good, dude. It took another 4 games for me to get to this point, but I'm so happy to play another Spyro game that makes me go I'm still gonna prefer the collectathon stuff. That's just what Spyro does best, if you ask me. But if you want to shoehorn him into these trendy, edgy bar fights, this is how you do it. Can you believe it? Up is not jump.
I've never played Spyro. I don't know why I'm in this video. But, I mean, this is cool, yeah?
Well, I couldn't believe it, so shove off. This game, man, after all the toss that we've tossed through, this actually warms my heart. Am I dead?
There's no time to die!
Ah! Hi.
I'm Long Dennis!
Oh yeah, how are you doing, Long?
Well, you know, I'm just being Long!
Can you get out?
But before I go, it's time to play! In one hand, I have another game for you, and in the other, I have the Wetty Betty!
I don't want to play. Can you please just give me the...
Here we go!
Stop being Long for 1 second and please just give me the...
Oh no! You're out of time! Get ready for the Wetty Betty!
Okay. Okay.
Well done! And for being such a good sport, have a bottle!
Oh!
And here is your prize!
Oh! Oh!
Skylanders.
Skylanders.
Dennis, I never want to see you ever again.
Oh!
Yeah.
Skylanders. I completely forgot about that. And I think there was a cartoon where it's the only time that Crash Bandicoot and Spyro ever got to cross over together. Which I imagine is far better than the actual crossover game on the Nintendo Game Boy Advanced.
I know. For most normies, Spyro ended as a series in 2008 with Dawn of the Dragon. But no, mate, if you want to call your game Spyro's Adventure, you're damn sure going to make it into a video about Spyro games. Released in 2011, the first Skylanders game was, at least originally, yet another Spyro reboot for a younger crowd. And the best way to go about that is by turning the adorable little boy into a vampire French bulldog. If we were fighting together in a war against the same enemy, I would shoot you first. If you don't know what Skylanders is, well, I've actually already looked at one in an older video and explained what the game is. So do you know what I'm going to do now? I'm going to put the clip of me talking about it right here because I've been going on for 2 hours. Can you please let me have this? Skylanders is a series of simple 3D beat-em-up platforming games in the Spyro mythos, except that it requires the use of a USB portal device in order for you to place different figures onto the portal and have them pop up in the game. Different figures have different abilities to get by different obstacles and unlock different secrets. Thank you for explaining that, me. It was very hot. Now the copy...
You know, this actually reminds me. I've actually been playing Zelda Breath of the Wild for some time, occasionally, on SEMU, a Wii U emulator, if you will. And it was pretty much a fun game to play. And what sells it for the SEMU, the emulator, is that it's pretty much the first emulator ever to actually play mods. But the only downside is you can't use the emulator saves, and you can't use the emulator booster feature. I don't know why that is in there, but wah. I mean, if this was for an online thing, I could probably buy it, but at the same time, I'm pretty sure the Nintendo stores have shut down by now. Where's my speed up feature in the save dates? But I digress. There was a couple of perks to have on the Wii U cheat emulator as well. I could turn on cheats, I could turn on the mods. I can actually slow down time, so that way the day and night won't take 24 minutes each. It could take 48 minutes or maybe 12 hours for in-game 24 hours to pass. Did I make any sense? And one of the features is that you can actually also place amiibos there, but you're going to have to download somewhere on the internet. And sadly, I don't think you can do that, get all of them though. It was a bit tricky to find, but I did manage to find them. The emulator also has a feature where you could put in amiibos, those little stick figure things. I wonder if the Xbox 360 emulators will have that as well.
The of Skylanders I found on eBay was brilliant. Want to know why? Because it came with a giant box of figures that I didn't want. Look at these. Like, what am I supposed to do with all of these?
Well, I guess we can at least look at them. Who is starring in the final original release of a game with Spyro still in the title? Well, we've got Spyro, Sparks, Cinder, Fire, Spyro, Thomas the Tank Engine, Fish, Steve Irwin, Spyro, Boat, and Shoe. Truth be told, I actually think all of these little guys are pretty cool, but I'm not here to be nice. Let's play the game.
I am Eon, your guide in this world. But where are you may ask?
That is a very good question. This is Eon, and this is Chaos.
What's up with that?
Eon is good, Chaos is bad. And Chaos also sounds like he's taking one giant breath in while holding his nose.
Oh, now I'm waiting for this.
Wait a minute.
This is Eon, and this is Chaos. Eon is good, Chaos is bad.
Are you calling Jack too bad? If you're calling Jack too bad, then fuck you.
And Chaos also sounds like he's taking one giant breath in while holding his nose.
Oh, now I'm waiting for
I'm out.
this day to take my revenge.
Right then, level 1. Let's see what's Oh, wait a second. I think my controller's broken. I can flame and I can charge, but I can't jump. You know what? Actually, no. Maybe it's just because this is the tutorial. This is a kid's game after all. The jumping might come later.
It does, man.
Wait, so let me get this right. We've gone from gliding to gliding and hovering to no hovering to no gliding to no jumping.
Yeah, alright, bye! No. Bad boy.
You know what? It would be so nice of you to use your giant wings to get over this tiny little hop, but no. I've got to go all the way around here and walk into this bouncy drain cover instead. I mean, shitting hell, you don't even charge for longer than a couple of seconds before getting tired. What's this? An achievement? Happy hour? I'm way ahead of you.
And so I said, you put that in my pie hole and I'll have a wolf.
I am starting to get sick to my guts with how slow Spyro likes to go in a lot of his games. Even if you wear a speedy propeller cap, it doesn't seem to make Spyro or any of his new bastard friends run any faster. And mixing that in with no jumping makes this not even slightly fun for me. Then as you go on through the game, there'll be side areas only unlockable from friends of a certain class, which I don't mind, but more often than not, it will randomly pop up and tell you that, oops, you're weak all of a sudden, time for you to swap out to Wet Spyro, otherwise you'll take much longer than necessary to kill enemies that aren't weak to the class the game tells you to swap to for absolutely no reason. It's not really a video game and more like a sit-up regime. We gotta get those tubby kids their exercise sitting down playing games all day. So why don't we give them muscly thumbs and a six-pack? Oh, this dude here is called Gil. Hey look, it's Gil. What? Oh, the Gil section is over. Something that I didn't realize until now is that these figures actually save data. Yeah, they're not just a controller input, they're memory cards that keep data in their feet. So then, in one area, after swapping to someone with the correct class that I needed to, I ended up with someone born in 1947 that was level 10 and had a small business loan in the bank. That just comes with getting these figures pre-owned, I guess. Sure, I could reset them from the menu, but that means I'll go back to having like 2 attacks and not jumping anywhere and running slowly, so can you get off my dick? These cutscenes are really long and I don't know why you can't skip them, because as we all know, Fortnite children love watching long videos in the middle of playing their games. Come on, I don't want to watch any of this. I want to get to the next level of doing nothing but running around and hitting 2 buttons.
Wait, you're a Skylander, aren't you?
Yes. And you're a golf club, aren't you?
Sorry about the lint balls, Hugo, but we were able to rescue Callie.
Hey, Peter.
Remember the time we saw Spyro the dragon?
And I was a furry!
I know what you're thinking. Surely this...
Spyro the dragon.
And I was a furry!
I don't know if they got the same actor or if they actually got a good impersonator. A good Patrick Warburton impersonator, but oh my god. Let me see, let me hear that again.
Sorry about the lint balls, Hugo, but we were able to rescue Callie.
Hey, Peter.
Remember the time we saw Spyro the dragon?
And I was a furry!
Okay, I know I shouldn't take this quote from a certain critic because, you know, he's pretty much a douchebag nowadays, but apparently, I think Patrick Warburton's voice is like pixie dust. Pixie dust. It just somehow magically makes everything funny.
You're thinking, surely this isn't all you do in the main game, is it? Yeah, it is. You run around, spam attacks, and don't jump anywhere. What do you do in the optional challenges? Run around, spam attacks, and don't jump anywhere. Oh wow, look at this incredible new land to explore. What am I gonna get to do in it? Run around, spam attacks, and don't jump anywhere. And I'm sorry, I am still in shock over the fact that Spyro can't jump. Spyro the winged beast can't get over this tiny gap. So how does he get over the gap? He assaults a tortoise and shoves it into the gap to walk on top of it. That's how Spyro gets over a gap. I'm playing a game called Skylanders where you are unable to ascend towards it. Here's a tower I've got to smash. Don't you like smashing? Smashing is fun, right? Well, here's how you smash in Skylanders.
Up to the gills!
You switch in between every time.
Even when you get to something completely different, like a turret section. In A Hero's Tale, the turret sections were frantic, extremely fast, challenging, and honestly, I kind of enjoyed them. But here, you...
No. No. It's still going!
Please understand, I am not looking for much. Like Gandhi at a Christmas buffet. I don't need to own the world to be happy. But I physically am unable to understand the appeal of a game like this aside from the figures to collect, which you can do anyway without playing the damn game. And it's also great to play the game and then get constantly advertised to about the other figures I can get. Hey, thanks for buying our game, kids, but your parents didn't get you enough.
Silence, Clubsy!
Without the figures, what is this? It isn't really anything, and it definitely isn't Spyro. It's transparently obvious that the subtitle Spyro's Adventure was slapped on to sell a brand new IP nobody would care care about if he wasn't on it. Parade his corpse over the front of the box to pretend it's his game. But hey, don't go too far. We won't have him talk at any point in the game, or make a story about him, or have any of the characters address him by his name. You know, the name that's on the front of the box. Nobody will notice. Well, you know what, Activision? I noticed. People like to not count this as a Spyro game, but if you're gonna spit his name on the box and claim it's his adventure, then I'm gonna treat it like one. And to be quite blunt, I've booked too many cameos for this video, and I don't know how to fit them in. Isn't that right, Blueberry, Dana Rage, Digimon, Vegeta, the Next Level, Game Apologist, Guru, Larry, John Riggs, LS Mark, Matt McMuscles, Nitro Rad, Re-Res, Tennings, Trav Guy, Shafrala, Scarfulu, Uncle Silver, and Wayne as boss. And don't even get me started on Elise. She threatened me with a carving knife if I didn't put her in this video, so there you go.
What?
Please leave my family alone. Ah, look, I found an anvil. I put it on his head. Perfect, I fixed his ugly. Whoa, what's this? I can upgrade now and unlock new abilities? I can give Spyro flight. Yes, thank you, Christ. Now we can still not go anywhere. Yeah!
Drag.
Oh, what's that? The game froze? Oh, that's a shame. Oh, and the game is recyclable? Gee, that's good. Oh, and the game is recyclable? Gee, that's good. I did it. I saved the trees. So that's it. 10 years later, after I said that I would do it, I finally made a video about all of Spyro's main games. Happy million subs. Out of the 14 games I played for this video, sadly, I ended up only liking/loving 6 of them. Less than half. But does that make Spyro a bad franchise as a whole? Not at all. Because I think that the good stuff is so good it vastly overshadows the bad. He is a dragon of quality, not necessarily quantity. And to be fair, it does take a lot for something to make me And you know, there's definitely still a market for Spyro to come back. I mean, we all saw how great the Reignited trilogy was, for the most part, so I'm not against giving him another shot. I mean, Christ, if Cash Banuka can get an official, proper 4th game 20 years after the 3rd one, why can't Spyro?
And yeah, that's exactly why I think Cattycoot would be a really good addition to Pokemon. Ah!
I couldn't have said it better myself. Actually, yeah, I could. I don't think it would harm Simon by giving him a proper 4. But isn't this? But for now, the only question I want an answer to is, what do I do with these?
Just sell them!
Well...
Ah, bonjour everyone! It's me, the chef, Sandwich! And you just caught me in the middle of reading the Pooh Cookbook. Very disappointing. 2 stars. No shit in it. But today I also have a new recipe to try. Skylander's sausage. The first step is that you want to put the heat on as high as possible, and then you get the vegetable oil and zoom. While they're waiting for everything to start cooking properly, you can also take your bottle and you can put it on the stove like that, and then you turn it over every so often and until it's brown on both sides. Once you start seeing all of the people's faces coming off like that, you know you're on the right track. Oh dear, steamroller. Oh, the faces will start peeling off, and then the wings will actually become flappy. Oh, this is the most important part of the recipe, when you have to get the delicacy of the shark properly cooked, because I caught that from the water. Oh, I'd say that's a marked improvement there, yeah. We didn't really like his face, so we just thought blank slate, you know, we can just put a new face on him now. Now it's starting to smoke, that means that we're really getting going now. So as you could see, like, his arm came off and attached itself to his other arm. Oh, easy peasy, the fumes make me wheezy. Ah, the first base has come
I don't think you should be breathing in that!
Hello, lady. Oh.
Okay, I'm legit concerned for his safety as he did this skit.
What used to be a lady? Spyro is going... Oh, he's bronzing. Look at that. He looks like some sort of special gold you find in The mine? I'm very happy with how this is all going so far, but I mean, God, don't do this. It's... I'm crying. Don't do this. I can't actually handle the smell anymore. I'm feeling sleepy and my mouth tastes of coins, so I'm going to pass you on to my sous chef. Aha! Bonjour everyone! It's me, the sous chef, Pizza! We have to cool it down with the water, and then eventually, after it's swum around in its nice little pond scum, we have to pick the best pieces to put in the sausage, and sadly, all of these pieces here, even though it's very high quality meat, it's all kind of congealed together, and we can't fit that in a sausage, so I'll probably serve that up with some onions and mushrooms and have a nice steak. But we can at least put Spyro and Tree in there. Now, we have to do the most important bit. We have to get our sausage links out. Just like here. Luckily, they come individually wrapped for your convenience. We go, and then we unravel it.
That's a condom, isn't it?
Perfect little sausage skin. Put Simon in there.
That is an actual condom. Ugh.
Yes, and I'll also put in the lady's feet. I'll put that in there as well. There you go. We have Skylander's sausage. Ribbed for her pleasure. Ribbed for her pleasure. Ribbed for her. Ribbed for her. Ribbed for her pleasure. Ribbed for her. Ribbed for her pleasure. Ribbed for her pleasure.
Huh? What?
Oh!
Huh? What?
Ah, of course. Some comedy Johnny has to come in the last moment, of course. I did not need to see that last distorted facial. The freaking distorted face. I've seen the FNAF VHS criminal tapes enough to know that, oh my gosh, I did not need that! It seriously, he just actually used the condom. It's a good thing it came at the end of the video. Otherwise, I would have just been wearing a gimp suit. Why? Okay, so as of right now, Spyro has 14 games. More than half of them is not that good. The original trilogy is. I'm actually debating whether or not if I should just play the remastered trilogy or if I should just download an original emulator, a PS1 emulator, to play the original games, because well, I'm guessing some people just have a unique style and nostalgia for the old stuff. Cause you gotta admit, sometimes even though the quality has improved, the animation quality has improved over the years in video games and whatnot, there is something so charming about the original consoles from back in the day where it's not very powerful. Old stuff and old looking graphics, I don't know, it just has its charms. It may not look as good, but it has its charms. And legit, another remastered game I know is Pac-Man World. I know it has a couple of improvements and whatnot, but I'm kind of thinking about just playing the original PlayStation 1 game. I mean, I've played Pac-Man World many times in my childhood, I enjoyed the intro level, but I never got past any other levels except maybe the pirate one, which is once or twice, and I didn't have too much fun with it. And the ending with the villain, that is just mean-spirited. Like, come on, that villain, that ghost was clearly doing all the bad shit, all because he was lonely and didn't feel loved. And your response is to just eat him. What the freak? That's only a douchebag hero or a supervillain pretending to be a hero or a psycho pretending to be a hero would do that. But the remastered version fixed that by having you, if you save every single one of your families, then Pac-Man at the end was like, it's okay. Can we just call it the truth and just have a good time together? And the Pac-Man ender goes like, yes! That's the one thing I'll prefer the remaster over for that alone. I've stated this before, but I'm still gonna prefer the original review of Spyro Orange over this particular review. And what is up with him getting the cameos? I was wondering when some Comedy Johnny was gonna come in this final part of the video. And he came in at the last moment before the credits rolled. And I might still have guilty pleasures with Enter the Dragonfly. That's just me. I have guilty pleasures over many things. Godzilla 1998 and Rambo the video game. So yes, that was a 2.5 hour Spyro video. Ugh. I'd put this, I'd make it into a 4-hour video or something, but then I would have a lot of data on my computer, which is already limited enough considering I got too much shit working on my Avengers project. And B, to make a 5-hour video might just take, I don't know, more than 5 hours to process. And it would probably take me 2 weeks to publish this video on YouTube. So, I know one or two guys want me to make hour-long reaction videos. And I've done that in the past. But longer than 2 hours? Nope, not gonna happen. Multi-parts, all you're gonna get. Besides, for some people, multi-parts are a lot more manageable anyways. For those who like long reactions and stuff, well, I'm sorry, but this is what you're gonna get. I'm not combining it to all in one video. I'm doing multiple parts. I forgot this. Well, if you guys like what you see, please consider liking and subscribing to my channel. And I hope you have a good day or night, and take care. Catechist. Just why?